Who owns your city's skyline? And what do they want? From Manhattan penthouses to global commercial hubs, who controls the skylines? These towering structures, monuments to commerce and ambition, represent more than just brick and mortar. They are the financial battlegrounds where fortunes are made and lost, the tangible symbols of immense wealth and influence. Beneath the shimmering glass and steel, complex networks of ownership, investment, and power dictate the very shape of our urban landscapes. This is the world of real estate empires, vast, often opaque, and undeniably potent forces shaping the cities we inhabit. The genesis of these empires can be traced back to a simpler era of ambition and audacious vision. In the early 20th century, developers like Fred F. French, with projects like the Tudor City complex in New York, began to conceptualize and build entire communities. Then came the Titans, men who saw not just buildings, but assets, conduits for capital. The construction of landmarks like the Empire State Building, completed in a record 13 months in 1931, wasn't just an engineering feat. It was a declaration of faith in the future of urban enterprise and a potent symbol of American prosperity and architectural innovation. Fast forward to today, and the landscape of real estate control has become exponentially more complex and globalized. The vast financial districts of London, dubbed the City, and the dense urban canyons of Hong Kong are epicenters of this industry. Ownership is rarely straightforward. Multi-billion-dollar properties are often held through a labyrinth of offshore shell corporations and complex trust structures, making it incredibly difficult to ascertain the ultimate beneficial owner. This opacity is not accidental. It's a strategic element designed to facilitate tax advantages and shield assets from scrutiny. Consider figures like the late Donald Bren, whose Irvine company stewards over 115 million square feet of real estate in Southern California, a significant portion of Orange County. Or the discrete operations of the Saudi royal family, whose vast global property holdings, managed through entities like Kingdom Holding Company, include stakes in iconic hotels and prime urban real estate. These individuals and families operate on a scale that dwarfs traditional corporate acquisitions, acquiring not just buildings, but entire urban districts, influencing development patterns and the lives of millions. Beyond individual fortunes, a powerful force shaping global real estate is the rise of sovereign wealth funds. These state-owned investment funds, flush with capital from natural resources or trade surpluses, have become voracious investors in prime urban assets worldwide. Norway's massive oil fund, along with Singapore's Temasek Holdings and Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, deploy billions annually into everything from shopping malls in London to office towers in New York, seeking stable, long-term returns and exerting considerable influence over key global markets. The residential sector, especially at the luxury end, is another crucial battleground. In cities like Vancouver, London, and Sydney, foreign buyers, often seeking safe havens for their capital, have driven up prices, making home ownership inaccessible for many local residents. These gleaming towers, often with high vacancy rates, become repositories for wealth rather than homes for people. The anonymity offered by certain jurisdictions further facilitates this flow of hot money, turning prime urban housing into a global commodity detached from local economic realities and needs. The commercial real estate sector, particularly retail titans, also wields immense power. Think of Simon Property Group, a REIT that owns or has an interest in over 95% of all shopping malls in the United States. These vast complexes are not just places to shop, they are controlled ecosystems that dictate retail trends, employment, and local economies. Their success is tied to consumer spending, but their ownership structure dictates the terms of engagement for every retailer within their walls, from the smallest boutique to the largest department store. In some cities, a single developer's influence can be overwhelming. Consider the impact of Hudson Yards in New York City, a massive mixed-use development transforming a formerly industrial area. Its creation involved intricate financial engineering, public-private partnerships, and significant investment from entities like the related companies, backed by global capital. This project, while bringing new amenities, also highlights the immense power developers wield in shaping not just buildings, but entire neighborhoods, dictating public spaces and the direction of urban growth. But this concentration of real estate power comes at a cost. The relentless pursuit of profit often leads to gentrification, driving up rents and property values to levels that displace long-term residents and small businesses. We see protests against luxury developments and increasing homelessness in affluent cities, stark reminders of the human impact of these vast financial transactions. The gleaming towers and prime office spaces can mask underlying social inequalities and housing crises, exacerbated by unchecked real estate speculation. Behind every real estate empire are the financial institutions that enable them, banks providing massive loans, and private equity firms injecting billions in equity. These players thrive on leverage and the predictable returns of prime property. Their involvement creates a feedback loop where capital flows easily into a sector perceived as safe and profitable, further concentrating ownership and amplifying the market's influence, often with less concern for the social implications than for the financial ones. The pinnacle of real estate wealth is often found in Yixitias Asunto, the hyper-luxury segment. Properties that trade for hundreds of millions, even billions, are not merely homes. They are assets for the ultra-wealthy, often bought for prestige, privacy, or as a secure store of value. From sprawling penthouses overlooking Central Park to historic estates in the French Riviera and private islands in the Caribbean, these transactions represent the ultimate consolidation of wealth, turning the planet's most desirable locations into exclusive playgrounds for a global elite. As cities continue to grow, the question of who controls their future becomes ever more pressing. Can we envision a future where real estate development prioritizes sustainability, affordability, and community well-being over pure profit? Innovative models are emerging, from co-housing initiatives and community land trusts to cities embracing 15-minute city concepts and stringent green building regulations. These approaches seek to rebalance the scales, ensuring that urban growth benefits all residents, not just a select few property magnates. The skylines we admire are the result of immense capital and strategic decisions, often made far from public view. The giants who own vast swaths of our cities are both creators and controllers, shaping the physical and economic realities of millions. Understanding the intricate webs of ownership, the flow of global capital, and the profound impact on urban life is crucial. For in deciphering who truly owns the world's cities, we begin to understand not just where we live, but the power structures that govern our lives. The real estate empires are constantly expanding, their influence woven into the fabric of modern life. As cities evolve, so too will the dynamics of ownership and power. The challenge remains to ensure that progress serves the many, and not just the few who build and hold the keys to our urban futures. The conversation about who controls our cities is far from over. The city itself is the ultimate prize, and the game is never over.